Hello, my brothers and sisters on the Dragon's Path. My name is Tim Heijen, and I believe very much in dragons. And I want to say to you something of my opinion. How does it come that so many people actually love the dragon, and on the other side, you have so many people that fear the dragon, that also say that sometimes they are not beautiful enough or ugly or something like that? Well, actually, there are many stories. And one of these stories is the most well known actually. It's not about George and the dragon, but it's from the same faith, from the same religion. Uh, but it's also much older than that, actually, to be no honest. Uh, you might remember that I talked about this dragon that I once met. Is named Lucifer. This dragon was totally new for me. A traveler in some kind of a realm that I just happened to be in. And this realm was Leviathan's realm. And this dragon was a traveler in Leviathan's realm. He could go wherever he wanted, but he decided to go to me. And I wondered who he was. And he said to me he was Lucifer. And I didn't actually know about this story that about dragons or something like that. I just said Lucifer. That is the name of the devil from Christianity. And he responded with no, 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 no. I'm not a devil. Um, and I listened actually to his tales and his story. And you might say I don't listen to the devil, but he couldn't hide that he was a dragon. He was 100% a dragon. And I didn't even believe in the Christianity and everything that happens to with all of the tales that is told in Christianity. I knew it's all stolen from from pagan faiths and pagan history. Um, but this was, yeah, from a dragon like that, I'm not afraid. I was not afraid. I was a bit startled about when I heard his name, but it was a dragon. So I listened to dragons, and dragons I know that they are travelers. So I was not afraid. So he told me his tale and that he saw a lot, that he was very old, and the reason why he felt so amazing is because um, he was much more than only a dragon that lived on Earth. He was more godlike. He felt a lot like Leviathan, and he felt also a lot about like Tiamat. He felt divine. Of course, you can say, of course, it's the devil, but it's not. It's not. It's really not. You know, there is a story in the Christian faith that Lucifer was one of the most beautiful and gorgeous angels that the Christian God ever made. And he was so good and so beautiful, and whatever he does, it was so divine. It was even said that he was on equal, if not above, the level of the Christian God. He could do so much. Um, so actually, that was until a moment in the story, of course, that Lucifer himself started to know that he was more than the Christian God. He was more than his maker. So in his mind, he actually wanted to be more than this Christian God, and he, alongside with a lot of angels that agreed with him, started to go against this God. And this is not just but because Lucifer thought that he was much more than him, so he could rule this earth and humanity with a different hand, with a different claw in this case. And then in the story, of course, I don't know if you want to believe it or not. In the story, then Lucifer is battling against the Christian God's army that was still good for him, that was still working for him. I mean, you had to work for him, or you were cast away into the fires of hell. So the story said, if you only betray the Christian God just a little bit, you don't participate in this war, then you would be thrown to hell as well. And hell is actually also a divine place created by it. So I've been to hell actually. It's not fire. It's to me, it's Leviathan's void. It's actually made by Leviathan itself, not by the Christian God, in my experience. And this place, it's more like teaching than punishing. This place, and Lucifer, after a defeat, because he didn't had so many angels behind him like the Christian God has. After his defeat, the archangel angel Michael was giving the last blows to Lucifer, and he was cast away into hell, and actually into the void where Leviathan is. So Lucifer, I've seen him in Leviathan's void, and you can see this is hell, but it's not with brimstone and fire. It's just darkness. And this is a story, my brothers and sisters, that is actually told by a lot of churches, actually, to say do not listen to any kind of Lucifer or draconic, or don't actually be free. That is actually what Lucifer did. He tore himself free away from the Christian God, so he could do everything he wanted to do for himself, because he was divine enough, he was smart enough, and he was beautiful enough to do things for himself. So in fact, with battling Michael, the Archangel Michael, he didn't stay in the form of a human with wings. He transformed into something that is called the Great Dragon. And he was, actually, that is what it is, of course. He was the most beautiful one of all. So if he showed his true face, his true image, it was a dragon. It was a dragon. So the dragon had anything that nature ever wanted to give him. So he had everything, claws and teeth and wings. So in a battle, of course, a dragon is the winner. But in this case, in this story, at least, it's not. So to give you an example, I searched up a bit, the white light and the dark dragon, the great dragon, in the battle of the heavens. So very well known actually among Christians. But this is not only a Christian story, this is also a story of paganism, because this story was very old, even before Christianity it was made. And even the story of Tiamat is a bit the same. Also rebellion against God, also the God from them. Then Aspu or something like that. Yes, Aspu, the creator of all, defeated Tiamat and was cast upon the earth, where she will sink and she will live on as everything that crosses. That is actually a bit the same. According to the stories, the dragon always loses. That is why I just cannot believe stories like that, and I also don't believe in the Christian God. But I believe that there was a story. There was indeed a story when I saw Lucifer's eyes, and I wanted to know everything about him. So I saw him twice. And the first time I was a bit afraid, of course, because of um, prejudgment, you can say, of what they said to me my entire life, of what the devil is. But was he really a devil? I didn't see a devil back then. I didn't see a devil in the eyes. I wanted to see I just saw a dragon, a very beautiful dragon that has seen many things, and that didn't say, "Oh wow, I'm going to do the worst thing to you." He's not even the ruler of this place called hell. That is Leviathan. He's not even the ruler of that. He was only a traveler over there, and he was not really cast away. He can go to us if he wants. If he wants, he can just visit you. He's called Lucifer, and he just will tell you his name, and you don't have to be afraid, because there are also, if I can believe the stories, that all of the angels, all that, even Archangel Michael or something like that, can, yeah, it's shown as a human with wings, but it can be that it also was a dragon figure, because if it has to be perfect, if it has to be light, if it has to be power, if it has to be everything, it's always going to be a dragon. And this is why I discovered in all of these stories, But the dragon is so demonized in this, especially in this one, is so made very bad that even though the dragon is very, very beautiful, for a lot of people it's not anymore because they say to themselves, I mean, look at this image of the dragon. This is beautiful. This is a body that has everything. Flight, it can swim, it can attack, it can defend. He has even a crown of nature itself. Tiamat, Fafnir, Quetzalcoatl, Leviathan, Pangu, and all of the dragon gods that I even have to admit that there is a lot of divine energy in Lucifer as well. Is Lilith one of them? I don't know. I never met Lilith. Lilith is the female version of Lucifer, and the first female on this earth ever. So I wouldn't be surprised if I met her, that she is also a dragon energy. But I never did, so in this case I will not tell anything about Lilith. But if it was, I'm not surprised, because divine creatures are dragons. They are gods. I immediately felt it in the beginning. Even the guardians are the children of them, and I can feel them so darn much, that they have so much divine energy and power, and yeah, they can actually do everything. Their spirit is eternal. They cannot die. They only uh, get older and more wise. That is what I also saw in Lucifer, the Lucifer dragon. That there must be something of this story, that there was indeed a fight. So there was indeed, yeah, I could hear a bit of his story, and some of the things that in the story seems correct, but not that it has to happen for the Christian God or something like that. I don't know about the Christian God. I don't believe in it, but I do believe in Lucifer, and he didn't seem to me like a devil. Michael, the archangel Michael, was he a dragon? I don't know, but a dragon, a dragon must be free. That is what I also learned. A dragon needs his freedom. All of the guardians, I can feel it is very much in them. That if they are trapped or something like that, if you are trapped, you have to feel this yourself. The best way to feel a dragon is by feeling your own self. And so, if you were stuck somewhere or prisoned, would you obey still the ones that keep you prisoned? That is just a bit thing of Lucifer. He didn't obey it, and he got against it. That is why it's also a sin if you go against those who oppress you, those who are your boss, those who are your leaders. That is actually a bit the story, and that is where also Lucifer a bit stand for. Go against the one that goes against you. You are not a robot or a puppet. You are an individual, and you have your own strength and power, and there is no second one like you. And so a dragon also wants to be free. This freedom needs to be, of course, sometimes forced against others. A dragon's freedom is everything. So this is actually, to wrap it up, the story of the great dragon. In other words, where Lucifer transformed in as his true self against his oppressors. Yeah, for the record, my brothers and sisters, I'm not a Satanist. I don't even believe in Satan. But Lucifer, that is another thing, because I met him. I met him for the first time years ago, and I didn't want to admit that I met him because of his name. And in the first seconds that I saw him, I wanted to refuse him, but I didn't, because a dragon energy cannot lie to me, and so Lucifer's draconic energy could not lie to me as well. So I listened to the story, and all of the other people that also believe in the story of Lucifer, that go against it. No, don't, because Lucifer is evil or bad. The dragons are indeed bad now because of that. Lucifer is actually, has to be met, has to be talked to before you can judge anything. That is what I learned from this. It's not the Lord of Lies, but maybe it could be the other way around. Who is telling the lie? Yeah, so the great dragon. Actually, all dragons are great. And I don't actually accept really much that dragons are viewed as something ugly or bad, because this story itself of Christianity, the main story of the Battle of Heavens, said that there is a divine dragon, that this was his true form, and this was the most beautiful angel of all. So they don't have to tell that the dragon is ugly or the dragon is something bad. But the dragon was divine, even for Christianity, if I can believe the stories, of course, about the great dragon that is called Lucifer. Like I said, never met Lilith, but maybe one day I could meet her, because according to the Christian story as well, uh, Eve was not the first female. That was not a human being that has the gender. That was actually Lilith. Maybe she was of course the serpent of the tree, but I don't know if she was a dragon. It could be very much, of course. My brothers and sisters, be blessed.